Welcome to a new update in which we're going to discuss the markets once again, as Bitcoin is showing some weakness as it started correcting yesterday as a result of the dollar bouncing back up. But before we're going to continue, make sure to subscribe indeed, like this YouTube update, and also make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, where you can find daily content on the markets. Now, when we're looking at the markets, we can say that the equities and the indices are also showing some weakness overall. Yes, we've had a beautiful bounce when it comes to the Nasdaq, but we are facing a crucial resistance zone, and it's also earnings season in which we have been getting some heavy negative results when it comes to the tech sector. Facebook has been going down after markets with 20%. Also, Spotify has been going down heavily, and Qualcomm has also been going down massively yesterday after the markets, and as a result of that, the Nasdaq is down red for the day heavily. That means that the markets are still very shaky, and that markets and the crypto markets itself are also still very shaky at this point, as we have been seeing that rejection at 38 to 39k. As a result of that, the volume is drawing down. It's going down, in which we are looking for a clear confirmation of a bottom to be hit, but we're also looking for a clear reversal to be taking place, or at least any levels to be lost to hit the volatility again. And as I can say, the sentiment in itself is also looking quite bad at this point, as the expectations are that we're going down even more. And as a result of that, the altcoins are dropping down a little bit more than what Bitcoin is doing, as Bitcoin is showing its weakness already, and altcoins in itself are getting sold off by the fear that investors and people have when it comes to the market. So time to head towards the charts, time to look at those and see what we're going to have for today. As we have been discussing the futures or the actual outlook for the Nasdaq today, we can see that the Nasdaq is going down the most from the US equities, as it's down 2% pre-markets. And it's funny though that Bitcoin has been correcting yesterday, and now the Nasdaq is turning south too. Remember correctly that from the period that Bitcoin bounced up from 33k, the Nasdaq came afterwards too. So is Bitcoin an indicator of the equities markets, or is it just correlated? It's funny at least that we're seeing the Nasdaq or the indices following Bitcoin, as it can be giving a signal overall. So the Nasdaq is turning south, most of everything, as tech is having a very hard time. And what we also see is the dollar facing a crucial support zone and currently actually finding its support there and bouncing back up. And as we recall correctly, if the dollar is showing strength, it doesn't really give any strength towards the Bitcoin, as that correlation is quite heavy most of the times. And that's what we're going to discuss in the later update today. So definitely do not forget to check out the update that's coming later, in which we're going to look at a potential structure of bottoming that Bitcoin could be facing if it wants to bottom out relatively soon. So in that case, what we're seeing here, beautiful retest on the dollar, is going to result in probably some more upwards momentum on the dollar, and that is going to result into more downwards momentum for Bitcoin. So what we're seeing here for Bitcoin is this breakdown. I'll just get a clean chart going. We have been covering the price action yesterday, right? We have been saying, hey, the level that we should be holding is the level of 38.1. We didn't hold. And out of that perspective, I was saying, okay, we've taken the liquidity here. Most likely, if we're losing 38.1, we're going to take the liquidity here too, which we have been doing. So a range has been made. And in that case, if you want to look for some opportunities to trade, it's pretty much simple. You're going to look at a shorting opportunity here. If we get towards 38.1, probably that's going to be a beautiful short opportunity in which you can actually start looking for 34 and 36. And I'm doubting whether we're actually going to break through 37.5, but that's just a different topic to discuss. And when we're looking for longs, we're going to dive into the higher time frames. This is not looking great. It looks like we are having a few inside days, or maybe even Today slightly upwards, and then we start correcting some more. But it seems like we're going to test the actual lows in this region between 33 to 34 to create that bullish divergence, and such a bullish divergence would be an indicator for a reversal to be taking place. So at this stage, if we look at the trend, we have been taking retests on previous support levels. So we have been seeing those bounces. This is another one, just like the bounce we have been seeing here. Slowly but surely we're going to start dropping down, and that is going to be something that we have to watch in terms of, are we going to have a bounce at 38.1 and then drop again, or are we going to reject the 37.5 and then drop again? Because that is what we are looking at for a reversal structure. If we look back at this one, we have been getting these bounces here. We have been getting a pretty nice run upwards in which we got this fake out, rejection at the previous block, which would be the same here at 38.1, and then slowly dropping down before we're going to test the lows again. And in that case, we have to see whether the buyers are once again stepping into this region here. If they do, we create ourselves that bullish divergence, and that will be a signal of potential upside to look at. Right now, the markets are just not looking too great. We've just lost this level. We've rejected at 39 as well. So I think that we're going to face ourselves some more downwards momentum in the coming period, unless 38.1 is going to flip as support. Looking at the Nasdaq finally, we have been claiming the levels that it had to break through. We've got a beautiful bounce there as well at 15.2k. The entire region between 15.2 to 15.5 is definitely the area that I'll be looking at if we want to break bullish again. But we're not doing that. We're going to open somewhere at 14.8, 14.9, and that is probably going to give us a signal of where the Nasdaq is going to go. Most likely what I want to see with the Nasdaq is that we're going to create ourselves a higher low in which we flip 14.4, and if we do that, we copy paste the structure that we had in the beginning of 2021, and then we can start running back up again. So that's the update today. Let's see what the markets are going to bring. Later today we're going to discover or see examples of a bottoming structure and what we should be seeing with Bitcoin right now. So stay tuned and make sure to subscribe beneath.